This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
The panel of judges, the two competing parties, and the House at large. I salute you all. Resolved. This House believes that economic resourcefulness should be the standard of creation of cities. We esteem affirmative, we are prioritizing economic resourcefulness to be the standard of the creation of cities. Not that we are going to neglect other kinds of developments that is going to take place in these cities. Mark that clearly. Team Negative comes on stage and they told us that they are going to dwell their arguments only in infrastructure development. But I want to pose a question to them. To make infrastructures be developed in these cities and localities, don't we need resources to develop them? We need minerals, we need wood, we need whatever to create these buildings, to construct roads. Therefore, we have to prioritize economic resourcefulness so that the development of infrastructure is also taken note of. And together, we are going to fight poverty. Team Negative also came and they told us that since they are going to develop their infrastructure, they are going to be developing infrastructures to attract investors. We understand that when these investors, they come to these cities or these localities to invest or to boost the economy, they use the natural resources that these cities have to make sure that they conduct their businesses. Therefore, if we eliminate the prioritizing of economic resourcefulness, are we going to attract these investors? Actually, it's going to be a no. They ask us that what are the qualities of an area to become a city? We have, first of all, according to the parliament, they say that for an area to become a city, they need the total population of the area to be, per square kilometer, to be at least 300,000 people. And also, they have to be having quality administrative sectors. Infrastructure should also be of quality. But we understand that to make this infrastructure be quality, administration of the cities to be quality, the innovation and entrepreneurship to be of quality, we need resources. Without resources in a country, there is no way that we can boost them. Therefore, why don't we prioritize economic resourcefulness so that we help to boost the infrastructure development that Team Negative is claiming of in tonight's debate? The class point we have in tonight's debate is to make a sustainable development for these cities that they are going to create in these localities. Therefore, we as Team Affirmative, we are telling Team Negative that let us prioritize economic resourcefulness by utilizing the little resources that we have in these localities or in the cities to maximize our economy. But they come and they claim that they are going to prioritize infrastructure development. And we as Team Affirmative, we tell them that when we prioritize and we utilize the resources that we have in these localities, we are going to be maximizing our economy and we are going to be using these resources to develop infrastructure. Therefore, why don't we prioritize economic resourcefulness to make sure that we boost economic development in these cities that they are going to be created in? Therefore, this has to be a standard in the creation of cities. We as Team Affirmative, we told them that when we prioritize, when we make sure that economic resourcefulness is a standard of creation of cities in Uganda, we are going to be promoting a sustainable urban growth. Why? Because we need a development that doesn't backfire. Team Negative, they are only dwelling in infrastructure development. But I want to ask them, will their development not backfire? Without resources, infrastructure development doesn't stand in a given city that is going to be developed. That is why we say that when we prioritize the proper utilization of these resources we have in the cities that they are going to create, we are going to be creating a development in the cities that do not backfire. Sustainable urban growth. I like that. We have poverty reduction. We want to prioritize. We want to make sure that economic resourcefulness is the standards of the creation of these cities so that we fight against poverty in the country at the moment. We understand that 24.1% of the population of Uganda is living below the poverty line according to resources from Ministry of Finance and Daily Monitor. That is why we want to prioritize economic resourcefulness so that even people that they live in slums, the little resources that people have, they can utilize it well to make sure that they maximize development in the areas where they live. Not only that, we want to make sure that before a place is created to be a city, there must be proper utilization of resourcefulness to make sure that the area develops sustainably, not to backfire. I rest my case. Thank you.
House at large, my name is Namoinge Sanya, the third negator. Before I go further, the clashing points in tonight's tournament is advocating for sustainable urban growth. The Team Affirmative are speaking about that they're going to advocate for this through using economic resourcefulness as the standard for creation of cities. And we're also saying that we're going to advocate for sustainable urban growth through using developed infrastructure as the standard of creation of cities. Before I go further, I would like to inform the Team Affirmatives that they are misinformed about, they're not understanding the meaning of economic resourcefulness. Economic resourcefulness does not mean that having having the resource, but it means having the knowledge on how to use it. Let me redefine it for you if you're kind of like confused. This means economic resourcefulness means that is the ability of effectively and efficiently using available resources to achieve desired economic outcomes. Springer.com is the source of this information. I also like to tell that you're misunderstanding the resolution. You aren't giving us why economic resourcefulness should be the standard, but you are telling us what you expect to see in the city. What you expect to see in the city when you use economic resourcefulness. So please, when you're coming back, you give more clarity about that.
POI?
Not accepted. Take you later. First of all, we are team negative. Basing on these statistics, in 2020, these are the guidelines used by the government to select an area to become a city. The government considered the strategic location. It also considered the level of infrastructure development. It considered the administration and political readiness and economic viability. That's why we are team negative. We are standing up here and say that we are supposed to use level of infrastructure development as that, because even the government the government itself took it up. Like for the following cities that were declared, the following areas that were declared cities. There is Gulu, there is Mbara. Due to level of infrastructure development, the country declared them cities.
Your eye on that point, Speaker.
I'll take you later, please. Okay, we are team negative. We are saying that in almost all parts of the country, they are having resources and there are people who can use them efficiently. Does it mean that we're supposed to make these places cities? No, we can't make these places cities because they don't suit the standard of being a city at all. When selecting an area to become a city, we need to look at the quality of resources. Some places have low quality resources. They have low quality resources in those areas, but it doesn't mean we should make them cities. No, we should not do that. We should not do that at all. We asked team negative. The reason as to why we are looking at the point that the reason as to why we want to develop infrastructure to be the standard of creation of cities is because we are looking at the quality of life in a city. It has to be a place where people have high quality of living. What is it going to bring? It's going to bring about high quality living, which is brought about by developing infrastructure. We're also looking at the high level of investment in a city. For an area to become a city, it has to have developed infrastructures. That is bringing about what? Investment. Now, these investments are going to make this place develop, making it that our point that developed infrastructure should be the one to be the standard of creation of cities is very correct and is paramount and it stands. We as team negative are saying that in tonight's tournament we take this because we have clarified to you, we have given you that a city does not mean it should only have resources, but it should have those infrastructures.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.